So let me start from the beginning. When did the first encounter did your paths cross?
Maybe about 60 years ago.
Oh.
60 years ago, my father became the military attaché to Taiwan. The ambassador was Ambassador Narciso Ramos.
Father and father.
Yes. So we are second generation.
Second
So-
generation relationships.
Yes. Oo. So my father was very close to Ambassador Narciso Ramos. He was a fatherly figure. A father figure rather. No? But noon pa lang, by the way,
ahead.
medyo
Okay lang.
taglis siya. Noon pa lang we were hearing stories about the son of the ambassador,
West Pointer.
West Pointer, no? And he was then, no? I was about 9 years old, I guess.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay.
So wala naman sa interest ko, no? Talking about politics or the military. So that the ambassador had a son who was being eyed for higher positions
In
a
the military
was supposed to be a
organization.
progressive military career. Oh.
But you joined the military starting off as a cadet.
As a cadet, yes.
Oh,
But it was General Ramos then.
Oh, general na nun.
General na nun. Siyempre, President Marcos was president.
Oh.
We also found out that they were related, President Marcos and General Ramos.
General Ramos. Oh.
And even then, his name was already talked about. No, some in hushed tones.
Ganun? Why so?
Well, you know how it is, no?
May persona, may enigma ba? Or...
May mistake around him.
Oh.
Hotshot, son with pedigree related to the president. So, but hindi rin naman ako interesado nun.
Okay.
Because I wanted to become a priest. So it was
Like all Bicolano males.
like Bicolano male. So you go, di ba? Two paths.
That was
If you're
divergent.
female, you go into
Yeah.
something else. So. And then I stopped dreaming of becoming a priest. Otherwise, you'd be interviewing Monsignor or...
Yes. Monsignor Honasan.
And then I wanted to become a doctor. Sabi ng father ko, the economics of the family will not allow you. I'm the eldest. No? Sabi niya, pag nag-doktor ka, hindi na mag-aaral yung mga kapatid mo. 5 boys and 1 girl. So, off and on yun.
So, paano nagtugma how did your paths cross?
It was
I guess
crossing, but
in the military na siguro.
cadet days,
Oo.
it would be, part of the entourage, the chain of command. Philippine Constabulary pa nun eh.
Yes.
So very very, vague. Walang, no special interest in each other.
Okay.
Ganon.
But when did it matter?
When we graduated,
71.
yeah. So I joined the army.
Okay.
It was still with the PC.
Yes.
Pero yung PC noon, Toby, kasama na sa 4 major branches of service.
Part of the military.
Noon, he became more visible and audible, no? He became slowly, very calibrated ang evolution of our perceptions of then General Ramos, na he was the soldier. He was the antithesis of what was the rule then.
Happening at the time.
At the time.
So at that early stage pa
Nung
lang.
parang naghahanap kami ng role model.
Okay.
And siyempre, we were scanning the terrain for those who would fit into our standards for integrity, professionalism, and leadership.
Okay.
Yun.
And he kind of fit into that?
They fit into that among others.
Among
no?
others,
He was still part of a,
But still part of the...
Yes, hindi siya unusually stand out.
Okay. But I guess the meeting point happened with RAM.
RAM was an all-Filipino, all-junior officer league.
Yeah. Specifically to your class. Tama
Well,
ba?
we just filled the vacuum because ito naman, I have to be forthright. No? We were looking for seniors who would lead a percolating spirit of reform. We were bearing the brunt of the insurgency.
The junior officers. No?
Junior officers, no? I'm going fast forward and
Go ahead.
we'll go back. Nobody knew that President Marcos had some health issues. You know, in a situation like that, you know, a active insurgency, criminality, no, the first quarter storm, control was essential. And in the field, I remember comparing it to the situation now. No?
Yeah.
When we were given an order, we went straight for the objective without looking back to check if the one issuing the order, I'm talking about the commander-in-chief.
Yeah.
Okay, so sabi namin, where did this problem come from? So it came from the very top. So sabi namin, kung ganon, we have to go out of barracks, no, with the principle of civilian supremacy over the military drilled into our consciousness, our hearts and minds, no? Halos muscle memory on Toby. No? Pero no other way. Wala nung kompa, walang FVR, walang General Ramos, wala pang Minister, Secretary Enrile. Kami-kami lang noon.
This was all just three.
So we met, no, in the headquarters of the Philippine Constabulary, right under one floor below the office of the Chief PC. Yeah, Chief Constabulary. So we started, nagsimula sa beer. Dahil pag RNR yung army, yung police lang ang pwedeng mag-treat sa'yo to, you know, discounted bottles of beer. Pretty soon, the beer became less and the serious talk became more. So sabi namin, ano ba iniisip natin dito sa reform? No? Sabi na, we try to intervene as a mechanism for transition into something better.
Yeah.
So, I have to underscore this because it was not against Marcos or anybody. It was for something. Ano ba dapat? Okay.
The system or something?
The system. Yeah. Of course, we did not have, with our limited vocabulary, no? We could not call it systemic, institutional. No? Sabi namin, something has to be done. So, in one serious meeting where everybody was still sober, sabi ko, ano ang taya natin dito? So we started doing, our careers, our families, what? Ay sabi ko, ang itaya natin, yung mahirap tapatan nung kung sino man will come in front of our gun sights. So buhay.
Yeah.
Diba? I mean, ito, all in. Okay, so that's how it started. So, somebody coined reform. So reform became an acronym for restore ethics, fair-mindedness, order, righteousness, and morale to an armed forces that had become a consequence of the society and government it served.
Abuses.
Yun, gano'n.
Atrocity.
Yeah, atrocity. Admitted naman yun, no? At yung iba, maybe by default, party kami ron. Alam namin nangyayari, pero magagawa namin kung minsan, mga bossing namin yung promotor eh.
Yeah.
Okay. So, naghanap na kami ng champion.
Okay.
So, nilapitan namin sina General Ramos, General de Villa. Eh, siyempre, we had this sense na parang anything that would risk dividing the nation would not be, considered or acceptable as an option in fact, sagot sa amin General Ramos, what do you want me to do? I'm going to retire in a few months.
Well, when was this?
Siguro mga 86, no? 85, 84.
That time.
Pero kanon, pinanganak na nun yung reform movement, nagmarcha na sa PMA, yung Wibilong. No?
Yeah.
So naghanap na kami nun ng...
And on the civilian side, I mean, there was already ferment because Ninoy was assassinated.
Yes, of course. But it was percolating. Pero you rally in the streets up to Kingdom Come, unless you had a military component, there is no
Nothing's gonna happen.
balance of forces. That would allow a resolution. No? Kung sino ang mas prepared sa kalsada at may armed component na pambalanse, pantapat, walang mangyayari. Okay, so naghanap na kami ng pinalapitan din namin si Juan, General de Villa.
Yeah.
Sagot sa amin, mas straightforward, if I'm reading you right, sabi niya, you're talking of a coup d'etat.
Yeah.
Ganun ang dialogue. So, atras na kami. Okay? Ako
Bakit dahil negative yung ano?
Hindi naman negative. Noon, sa amin negative. Ano naman itong mga to? Hanap kami ng leader, lead us. Diba? Parang si Wallace at saka si Robert Bruce.
Yeah.
Sabi ni Wallace, lead us, unite us, we'll follow you. Diba? So, ganun. May pedigree. Ramos, anak ni Ambassador Ramos.
Yeah.
Pinsan ni President Marcos. Diba? O de Villa, si Juan, Mr. Clean.
Yeah.
Ganun. So, atras na kami. Ako, assign ako sa Department of National Defense. Kami ni Red Kapunan, lumapit kami kay then Minister Enrile.
Yeah.
Medyo kakaba-kaba kami dahil nag-attend na kami ng meeting ng steering committee sa Krame. No? Regular na yon.
Steering committee ng
RAM.
Okay.
May RAM na nun
Oo nga.
So, RAM, sige, RAM. Okay lang. In fact, we're rappelling. Wala pa nung, hindi pa uso nun yung mga SWAT, mga special forces, no? Yung sa urban. We're rappelling up and down buildings, you know. Namamangka kami dun sa ilog, sa Marikina River, you know. Pero practice na yon for the assault on
The Palace.
the Palace.
Pasig.
Pasig. Di ganun. So, lapit kami kay... May manifesto kami ng RAM. So, ang pasok namin kay Minister niya, Sir, kami ni Red, ako ang security, siya yung intel. Siyempre, two of his boys.
Yeah.
Sir, may namo. So, ang pasok namin, Sir, may namomonitor kami na nagme-meeting dyan sa Krame.
Okay.
Tawag nila sa kanila, sarili nila, Reform the Armed Forces Movement, RAM.
Okay.
Ito ho yung manifesto nila. Binasa ni JPE. Sabi niya, wala namang masama rito. Sabi niya, ba't hindi kayo sumali? Para kaming,
Okay.
di ba? Para kaming sinindihan. Di ba? Lawyer, di ba? Architect of the Martial Law Proclamation, trusted ni President Marcos, although at that time, nauulinigan na namin na parang binabox out sila ni FVR. Di ba? Dahil may sakit na nga si President Marcos, so nabuo na yung cordon sanitaire. Di ba?
Someone else was running.
Yeah, it was, di ba?
Sort of.
Pati yung nagtatali ng sapatos siguro ni President Marcos. Pag nag-iisip siya siguro. Okay, so, balik tayo doon.
And really was getting isolated.
Isolated. Ganun ang environment. In fact,
getting isolated.
madalas sila magkita noon. Alam ko dahil Aide-de-Camp ako, security officer, no? Chief Security.
FVR and JPE?
Yes, JPE.
Okay.
Alam mo na, pag inaapi, yung dalawa, they find comfort in group hugs, no?
Yeah.
Ilang dalawa lang.
Okay.
So namomonitor namin na regular si President Ramos kay Minister Enrile. Nag-uusap sila. So kami naman, balik tayo dun sa meeting namin kay JP. Sabi sa amin ni JP, start planning kung ano man yung iniisip ninyo.
So alam na niyang kasama kayo.
No choice kami.
You had to
We had to operate under the umbrella provided by the Ministry of National Defense. Doon naman sa kabila ng EDSA, in Krame, may konting disconnect pa. Dahil yung bossing nila, hindi pa nila masabi. No? Big Batak, di ba? Ito, na, sir, gumugulong na di ba? It has developed its own momentum. Ano, so, parang kulang na lang yung timing ng pagsabi sa kanya na, sir, wala na kayong magagawa. Kaya, tulungan lang ko, you lead us. Ganon.
Who was supposed to lead? Enrile or Ramos?
Ang naisip namin noon, kami, mas mga gago, sabi namin, kaya ba nating magpatakbo ng gobyerno? Di ba? Sabi, hindi. Ano ba training natin? Philippine Military Academy, Management of Violence. Hanggang doon, Toby, no? Talaga it's wired, no? It's the DNA. Yeah. Hindi yun military coup. Di ba? Ano yung sabi ni Huntington, di ba? Na what draws the military to intervene in the political life of any nation is not perceptions of its own strength, but of the weakness of the system. Parang si Ataturk sa Turkey, di ba? Ang gugulo ninyo, pasok kami. Pag medyo okay na, pull back kami. Pag ginulo ulit ninyo, nasa constitution nila. Di ba? So yun ang naisip namin, our little readings. No? So, sabi namin, ano tatawag natin? Siguro National Unification Council.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, di ba?
Headed
by probably the natural alternative. Pinatay si Ninoy. So siguro symbolic si President Cory, si Cardinal Sin, yung mga matitino na nakalimutan ng tadhana, sina Ileto.
Civil leaders.
Pero siguro kailangan dyan, nagbabantay, may oversight. So probably, pag napag-usapan, maybe General Ramos could be part of it, or maybe Minister Enrile. Because they saw the need, no, to intervene in a rapidly deteriorating and spiraling downward system. By the way, Toby, had you interviewed me maybe 30 years ago, I would not be talking this way.
I know.
So, ang kuwang ko lang naman is, no regrets, but always lessons learned.
Yeah.
Sama ito sa lessons learned.
That's where we are. Exactly.
Yes.
But it all came to a head. Snap elections, nagkaroon ng
Before that,
problema sa...
yung snap election, mga temporary release valves lang yun
Exactly.
Di ba? Parang, di ba? O sige, snap elections, kasi election. Pero, yung misis ni Red, nasa National Computer Center, sila magmama ng tabulation. Nakita naman nila kung paano dinoktor, di ba? Ni-rescue namin sila para itago. Inago namin kung saan. Pero ibig sabihin, so balik tayo sa plano. Wala naman ng mga people power, wala.
No.
But we were trying to touch base with the Council of Trent, yung progressives who were marching in the streets. Diba? So sabi namin, pwede ba kayo bigyan nyo kami ng advice dahil may reform movement kami. Gusto namin, hindi naman pwedeng sabihin sa kanila, di ba? Doon sa Parliament of the Streets na. Di ba? Maraming.
Then eventually, yun nga, it led to the incidents at...
Which brings us now to fast forward tayo. Nung malaman namin na pag-aarestuhin na sila, including Enrile and Ramos, sabi namin, ano ang options? Sabi ni JP noon, we fight in the countryside. Protracted. Para tayong...
Chinese.
Ganon. Ganon. Sabi ko, sir, ang command and control ninyo ni President Ramos, ni General Ramos, nasa Krame at Aguinaldo, di doon tayo. Di ba? Anyway, pag umiikot nun si FVR tsaka si JP, siyempre kausap nila yung mga siga, no? Mga bossing, mga general, mga mayor, no? Kami ang kausap namin kagad, mga junior officers. Kaya naman, di ba, nag-consolidate sa Mindanao.
Yes.
Di ba, nag-consolidate sa Visayas. There were people power, including the military components, were replicated all over the country.
All over. Yeah.
So, ang fear namin were validated. Our fear was civil war, which will not benefit anybody. Yun.
You hold up.
Yeah, we hold up.
Hindi,
At yung, di ba?
at ikaw pala yung may ikaw pala yung may idea nun.
Oh, pero kahit na pagsasabi ko noon, sinulat na nila yung history. Di,
Yeah.
tamim, ako.
Yeah.
Inispin pa. Di ba? Tawag sa
Yes.
media. Inispin pa na power grab. Di ba? Ganun na. History was written. Pati yung history books natin, color-coded, di ba?
Yeah.
Yeah, so, ganun yan. Yun ang plano.
But, so ano yung participation ni FVR?
Ay,
When did you guys tell him na...
hindi.
Sir,
It was
damputin
JP
ka
who
na.
told him.
Oh.
Di ba? Pag 22 February, Sabado,
Yeah.
Saturday, report kami kay JP. Sir,
Because he knew it was...
sunog na yung plano, aarestuhin kayo. Malamang kasama kayo ni... Tinawagan niya si FVR, mga alas 2.
Oh, okay.
Nasa Alabang.
Yes.
Kaharap kami ni Major Noe Wong. Aide-Camp kami, no? Security officer na ako. Okay, ang wala namang speaker phone eh. sabi ni Eddie, he will be with us. Bigyan lang siya ng panahon dahil hahabol siya. So, sakay na kami from Dasmariñas, the residence of JPA. Punta na kami ang Aguinaldo. Tapos yung alarm for the original plan to assault was now flashed all over the country na joggers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Ganun. So nagpoporma, nag-consolidate. Okay, ganun.
FBR joined you.
Of course. Tapos nandun sila sa press con.
Yeah, and then they declared they were breaking away, withdrawing support.
We cannot in conscience, di ba? So pati sila noon, although I can imagine how agonizing it was for both of them.
Ano yun? Forced to good sila. Kasi nga,
Hindi, Toby, it was a moral decision. Yun ang hindi mo makapture sa interview, sa TV camera, no? Yung nangyayari sa puso mo.
the internal,
Pinsan ni FBR, bossing ni JPE. All of a sudden, boss, hindi na namin kaya yung kwan.
you had to break away.
Noon hindi pa masyadong kalat na may sakit na pala si President Marcos. That was not highlighted, no? It was, this thing about, dictatorship, the abuses was rammed down history's throats. No, so that it justified the configuration of the powers that came to be.
How crucial was FBR's participation? I mean, I'm quite sure it was a mix of everything. Pero ano yung, what did he bring to the table that made...
In a situation that was polarizing, di ba? Well, I'm oversimplifying it, no? Kung ayaw mo na dito, sino ang ipapalit mo? O ano? Yun ang pinaka-importante dapat na nasagot nun eh. Ang pinag-usapan lang ayaw nyo kay President Marcos, sino? Yun lang ang sinagot. Dapat ang sinagot is ano? What re-engineering in the system, what improvements in the system that bred these abuses, perceived abuses in the first place, no? This inefficiency, this corruption, this disunity, this insurgency would be set up. Di ba? Para ma-improve, para mabigyan naman ng credit yung reform mode. So, anong nangyari? Tanggal si President Marcos, palit si President Cory.
So, sino lang?
But the system remained. Di ba? Kaya tayo hanggang ngayon. But nobody said naman even during the time it would be easy.
Yeah.
So, going back to your question, how crucial? Very crucial.
Why so?
Maybe kung JPE lang, kahit na may backing siya the military component was organized under this wing, we needed a symbol from the military that subscribed to time-honored principles like civilian authority. Yun ang perfect combination. Diba?
So, nagano talaga.
Parehong...
That's what he brought to the table.
Yes. The credibility, the rallying together. I cannot say it's FVR only. Dahil ang tingin sa kanya, sundalo, chief of the PNP. That's a military component. No? But for somebody, seasoned lawyer, corporate law, at talagang number 2 man in the hierarchy
Yeah.
of power, no? It is President Marcos, and then Secretary of National Defense, curfew passes,
Yeah.
arrest, search, and seizure orders, no?
And the man implementing it.
Yeah.
Ramos.
Yeah. Oo. So, I think that was providential. That's what I think was providential in the sense that everything fell into place. There's no logic there eh. How did that happen ba? Ano ba nagkasabay sa bakit nasunog? Dahil kung natuloy yung plano namin, di ba? Giba talaga yung Malacanang.
Yeah.
Di ba? Oh. At saka, baka sa firefight, baka na crossfire. Di ba? Mahirap tanggapin yun. You look at the temperament of the global community during the time, which was, di ba? Hindi naman sila happy about military takeovers eh.
Yeah.
Banana republics, yun ang
That-
trajectory nun eh.
I think that was, I guess FVR didn't want that too, no?
Yes. I think
banana
instinctively, both of them, no, not individually but together, had that temperament.
So EDSA became successful. Mrs. Aquino became president. Enrile became Secretary of Defense. Ramos became COS, new Armed Forces of the Philippines. But yun nga yung naging problema mo eh, di ba? Naging sino, nawala yung ano. And I guess that was the reason why, depending on who it is we're talking with,
Yeah, but-
it's 5, 7, or 9 coup attempts.
Abunado nga ako doon, di ba? Dahil pagkaalam ko, isama mo yung 86 tatlo, 86, 87, 89. Yung iba, abunado na ako doon.
Binanggit ka lang.
Anyway, hindi. But, history has an interesting way of, rectifying things. FVR became president. Pero FVR, during his time, pag ipuwera mo yung first few years of President Marcos, we became a tiger economy. Di ba?
Tinulungan ba ninyo?
Ha?
Tinulungan ba ninyo
Oo naman.
si FBR?
Oo naman. Oo naman. Ibig sabihin,
Nung panahon ni FBR, so he had 6 years, you were officially a member of his administration when you were elected to public office. Nasagot ba yung ano?
yung ano.
You remember? You said sino at ano, di ba?
Partly.
Okay.
So, ikakabit ko na ron sa, yung ano, kunyan, kailangan yan. Siguro mga 12 years, 18 years, assume yung makaprepare ka ng mas malalim na bench, no?
Yeah.
So, yun ang sagot doon. Kulang sa kanya. Ewan ko kung how can I fathom that naman, di ba?
No.
Di ba? Dalawang kandidato na parang malapit sa kanya. Yung kapartido niya at saka yung kasama niya sa, di ba? I'm talking about Speaker de Venecia and Secretary de Villa.
Yeah.
Now, I will not go into thin ice na.
Pero yun nga, medyo
Di ba?
sayang.
Kung ang tanong yung 86 was supposed to set in motion a spirit of reform, re-engineering, repair of institutional damage, address the systemic defects of a democracy we cut and pasted over an interesting culture like, di ba?
Yeah,
Yun ang
with the Philippines.
pagkakataon na para i-re-engineer.
Well, FBR had a reform agenda. Nag-appeal ba sa'yo?
Oo naman. Yun lang ang hirap basahin dahil hahaba eh. Ang kapal ng mga libro niya eh. Alam mo naman ako, di ba? Yung mahilig ako sa comics.
Good. Sige. So let me give you a few catchphrases from his administration and throw me your reactions to people empowerment.
Dapat. In fact,
Nagawa
I think,
ba?
People empowerment, the direction was towards that na. Di ba? Empower our front lines, local government. Food, clothing, shelter, health, education to begin with, Yun ang pantapat mo pati sa ISIS. Di ba?
Hanggang
Bring it
ngayon,
up, di ba? Yun. Tapos yung iba, toppings na lang. Pero simula ka ron. Di ba, pag food, clothing, shelter, kumpleto. Education and health, ano pa kailangan mo para hindi ma-recruit yung katapat mo?
Yun yung basic social needs.
Yun. Di ba? People empowerment. People power nga eh. Sabi niya sa akin kanina, baka pag alis mo sa Senado, kung anong dadapuan mo na pwesto, ayun, ituloy mo, subukan mong tapusin yung sinimula natin, yung trinigger natin. Di ba? Yung tayo naman, hindi naman tayo ang urig na, di ba? People power nga, di ba?
Yeah.
We're the accelerators.
Okay, next one. Medyo kahambing. Decentralization.
We're an archipelago. Geographically, demographically, di ba? We're 7,100 islands during, di ba, high tide. Di ba? 7,200 during low tide.
Yeah.
Hindi mo pwedeng Imperial Manila lang ang nagdidikta niyan. Di ba?
Nagawa ba niya?
I think so. Hindi lang in-implement. Yun ang gusto niya.
Nasimulan.
Nasimulan. We hear talk now about, let's say, budget reform, no?
Yeah.
Talagang decentralized. Centralized planning, palakasin mo yung NEDA, decentralized execution. Di ba? Kabit-kabit ngayon. Ngayon, ano mo pa? Iuugnay ko dun sa urig na which resonated in our hearts and minds. No?
Okay.
Yung talk to everybody.
Diba? Consensus build. All stakeholders.
Ba't isa lang ang kausap mo dun sa, di ba, sa Metro Manila? I-decentralize mo yung peace talks. At tapatan mo ng local government. Di ba? People empowerment, decentralization. Anyway, nag-uusap kayo, lusob naman ang lusob, attack ng detachment, di ba? Pag tinanong mo, ba't nag-uusap tayo? Haras naman kayo ng haras. We have no control. Why don't you condemn? Diyan naman, magaling si FVR. Di ba? The first battleground is hearts and minds. How do you get to the hearts and minds? Media.
Yeah.
Di ba?
Ginamit niya, no?
Gamit na gamit.
It was
Hindi pa niya sinasabi. Alam na eh. So that's quite. Sir, you cannot. Hindi mo nang pwedeng i-deny o burahin to.
Yeah. Last of the three, liberalization. We had monopolies and, that one.
Di ba? Yun ang mga, after siguro, the second paragraph.
Yun nga yung di ba? Kailangan palitan mo yung struktura. Yun ba yun?
Di ba? Dahil ang nag-uusap-usap lang, yung mga sikat. Di ba? The opportunities are not any industry. Di ba? Kung monopoly, duopoly, di ba? Cartel, di ba? Ano ibig sabihin nun? Hindi patas ang laban. Pag maliit ka, maghanap ka ng kakampi para lumaki ka at pwede mong tapatan yung malaki. Liberalization.
Okay. Just a few other thoughts. Yung paggamit niya ng foreign affairs as a tool to secure regional security. And I'm talking here in the context of strengthening Philippines' relations with ASEAN to curb the expansion in the South China Sea.
Di ba? Foreign policy, hindi to original sa akin. Ito naman yung natutunan ko dahil kahit na gaano kabobo ako, may naintindihan naman ako na sinabi niya. Foreign policy is just an extension of domestic policy. You cannot give what you do not have. Okay? So, how do you address certain problems? By leveraging the consensus of a greater number and a better number. Di ba? So, sa labas, our foreign affairs, is our front line.
Well, what are the discussions like? I mean, anong napag-uusapan, napagkakakwento?
Dati, more monologue than dialogue.
Uh-huh.
Siyempre, di ba? May muscle memory force of habit. Pag kinausap ka niya, di ba? Makinig ka lang.
Yeah.
There's nothing you will contribute to the conversation. Over time, it has developed into a dialogue. So ngayon, medyo dialogue na kami. No? Baka may nakakalimutan siya. So it's a very comfortable evolution.
Okay.
That, di ba? In the final analysis, it's always about God, country, and family. All of the above. All or nothing.
Terrific. Great. What do you want people to remember of FVR?
Well, hindi ko kayang sagutin yan, Toby, no? Because I remember him. We're having this conversation because you ask me, how would I want to be remembered? Okay?
Okay.
Okay. Para ikaw na I was a soldier, a rebel, now a senator. And I walked, no, with the likes of Ramos, Enrile, di ba? Wala na akong maisip na pangalan.
Okay.
Gusto ko sana sabihin, with this, na. Pero, yun. So that limits my perspective. But personally, it has come full circle, no? How would I like to be remembered? I would like history to forget about me and remember me by the people I associated with. My children.
Okay.
My most precious, our most precious strategic and renewable resource, no? Our next generation of citizens and leaders, no? And when you introduce the name of, let's say, FVR, JPE,
HONASAN.
it would give people a better insight into what it was all about when we all became audible and visible, no? Active participants in this journey. So, my most important achievements as of now, and partly because of the opportunities that the likes of FVR and JPE, sabi nga, I cannot separate them, no? Is I have been a husband for 45 years, a father for 44 years, and a grandfather for 11 years. Okay. So, yun ang pinaka-importante sa akin ngayon.
God, country, and family.
Of course, yung family, you can expand or contract it. And to me, because of our second generation, FBR, of course, si Ma'am Ming have always been family. So, two to go. God, that's personal. Okay?
Yep.
God. Country, it's relative. It's abstract until you convert it into decentralization, people empowerment, strengthen the local government, yung local government code. Ito, nabasa ko rin sa kanya. We devolve authority and responsibility. You know what we forgot to devolve?
Which one?
The money. Kaya, kaya
nakaipit pa, no?
Nakapila. Bigyan mo authority responsibility. Sasabihin sa'yo ng mayor, with what? So, imbis na magtrabaho, di ba, doon sa malayong municipality niya, pupunta rito, pipila. Pagdating mo ron sa pila, pagdating mo ron sa desk, tatanungin ka, ano partido mo? pag hindi ka partido, balik ko doon sa dulo. Not for anything, Toby. I keep on, FBR never made that distinction.
Oh.
He never asked, anong partido ka? Tinawag nga kami lahat. Pati yung mga nanggugulo noon sa Senado.
There was always a place in the table and an ear to listen, ano?
Hindi, tsaka, ewan ko, kung pinabo siya, di ba, nakulong ako noon sa Santa Rosa. Ewan ko, he sent a message through General Monte.
Okay.
I knew it came from him. I mean, sabi niya, things are not as bright as they look, no? But ito, advice, you must outlive everybody.
That's about it.
Well, here I am. JP.
Thank you very much.
No, Toby. Thank you. Thank you for...
Salamat.